TYT Sports, What the Puck? Francis Maxwell, Michael Schur, Jason Rubin. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 3. Tampa Bay takes a big 2-1 lead over the Chicago Blackhawks in Chicago. I want to start off this clip with a lot of sports radio, a lot of articles, a lot of people, pundits across the board had the Blackhawks sweeping this series.
Yeah, especially after they won the first game. A lot of people thought absolutely Chicago's going to win 4 straight. They're going to win in Tampa Bay. They can't come back. Ben Bishop in the second game, it looked like he was hurt, and then we'll get to that later. And then going back to Chicago, it's a tough building to play in. Tampa Bay has been extraordinary on the road. They've won series where they didn't have the home ice advantage, but Detroit, the Rangers, they won 3 games at Madison Square Garden to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, in fact, they know how to play on the road. They don't seem daunted by it at all.
Yeah, so let's talk about Bishop, the goalkeeper. You said, because Jason mentioned to me, there's a few rumors going around that if you got to go, you got to go. Apparently, he actually just had to take a number 2. And that's why he looked a little uncomfortable on the I was ready to say on the field then. I was about to get hit on the ice, but as I said, just from a neutral fan watching it, he didn't look comfortable to me.
No, he didn't look comfortable, yeah, and I don't know what it is. I mean, the number 2 goalie came in for a little while, that's just a rumor. He actually did look hurt yesterday a little bit. I think when you were watching that game, you saw him slow to get up.
Yes.
Maybe it was trying to perpetuate the rumor that he was in fact hurt, but he also looked great. He made big stops. He's 6'7". He's 6'7".
Is he really?
Yeah.
On skates or?
No, he's 6'7". I mean, he's a big goaltender, which has its pluses and minuses. It's a lot to get up. It's a lot to very difficult to get up and down.
Yeah.
But he stopped them when he needed to. Their goals, Chicago scored a goal from Brandon Saad to take the lead. And it was a fantastic goal, amazing passing, precision, and a one-time shot score. 13 seconds later. That's when they
Well, it's interesting you bring up that. Obviously, that was a major turning point in the game.
Yeah.
That is the 10th time during this Stanley Cup Finals run the Blackhawks have given up a goal within 2 minutes of scoring their own goal. Yeah. It's backbreaking. It's debilitating. You just get a big lead on your home ice. You're up 2-1 in the game. You got to find a way to at least, and this is where I kind of relate it back to, is the defense just getting tired? Or why are they falling asleep down there? Now, there was a lot of action in front of the net when Palat, I can never get this down. Palat scored that goal, and it was, again, a lot of crowd there, a lot to take in when you're trying in those situations. Regardless, it's a situation, 13 seconds.
Yeah. Chicago has an injured defense. Jonathan Oduya got hurt yesterday. Johnny Oduya did. And the other problem is, and Chicago's had a problem with this for a while, is they very often are a team that cares about the other net more than their own. And in the playoffs, you can take advantage of that. And the stat that you just brought up, Rick, that shows that, in fact, it becomes really difficult to do that. So
that's where actually I got that stat from.
Yeah, from Rick. Exactly. That's why I told you Rick.
So you mentioned Saad there, and I wanted to bring up a point that we just mentioned before as well, is that I know that specifically the Tampa Bay coach was not happy with roughing the goalkeeper. I think Bishop took one to the head from Saad, apparently, and he took it a little while to get up. But the rules on that state, obviously...
Well, basically, the goaltender has his little domain.
Yes.
It's called the crease. When they leave the crease, there's sort of fair game, but there's kind of an unwritten rule, too, that you're not just going to go pounding a goaltender.
Yeah.
There's some goalies that have engendered that sort of response. Ron Hextall in Philadelphia back in the 80s, and the people really didn't like Hextall. He would leave the net all the time, and he was open net, so people loved checking him and getting involved with him. Most goalies, it doesn't happen, but in the crease, maybe it was a little bit of overacting by Bishop, but Saad did get in there and he did make contact with him.
I wouldn't call it so much overacting as rightful acting. Right time, right place to pull those moves.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, you don't like to see with deference to your favorite sport.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, every once in a while I've turned it on. I don't watch a lot, so maybe once I've seen someone fake an injury in soccer. But hockey players, I mean, and they call it. You get called for that in hockey, but goaltenders don't generally get called. There was contact made, and that right there means that. So looking to the next game quickly, guys, Tampa Bay, if they have the home ice advantage right now, they also seem to have a psychological edge on this team at home. I really thought these games were going to be high scoring. I didn't think Bishop and Crawford are the best goaltenders in the league. Most people agree. So I thought it was going to be high scoring. But Tampa Bay has been able to control the middle of the ice, the neutral zone. So you saw the people that were on the ice when they scored their third goal, the game-winning goal. These aren't their stars. Ryan Callahan, a leader, a checker, demoted to that third line. T.J. Brown and Cedric Pacquette, who got the game-winning goal.
And credit, and again, Victor Hedman, a beautiful heads-up pass right across into the middle, right in front of the crease, and just a great finish from Paquette.
No, I'm glad you brought up Victor Hedman, Jason, because he is, he's the sort of main guy on the Tampa defense.
Their third,
And he complements Duncan Keith, who gets all that ice for Chicago. So defense is really coming to the fore here. You're looking, as we predicted on What the Puck earlier, that you're looking at probably a Conn Smythe winner. That's the winner of the MVP of the playoffs, who's not going to be a goaltender. You're looking, which is great. It may in fact be a defenseman,
which is very true. What was interesting, real quick, on when we talked about the preview for the Stanley Cup Finals, you mentioned Tampa Bay's offensive attack in their zone has been not just a joy to watch. It's extremely powerful. It's fast-paced, ironically named after lightning fast speed.
Right.
How these teams are going to respond. Chicago, again, as Rick mentioned yesterday, 10 times this has happened to the Chicago Blackhawks. How Chicago responds, they're on their home ice. I don't want to say it's a must-win game, but I'm going to.
Yeah,
Chicago needs to win to even the series, or this could be over in 5.
They have to win, and they have to figure out a way of maintaining their attack with their big players, and also because what they've done, they've contained Steven Stamkos, who's one of the 5 best players in the NHL, plays for Tampa.
Scores a lot.
Point. He does not have a point in these 3 games. That's unusual considering that they're up 2-1. That Stamkos doesn't have a point. So they have to do that. They have to continue to keep Stamkos at bay, but they also have to find a way to retreat from that offensive zone and keep up with Tampa Bay.
Lastly, but where are the leaders? For the Blackhawks, Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. When Patrick Kane is on, I'm going to use a soccer term, but on form, he is the most unstoppable player in the playoffs. To me, he's
you feel comfortable now with on form?
I think that probably covers mostly all sports. So what it means is that they're on point, Michael, just in case you didn't get that.
On
well
form.
played, Jason.
But
also what they have to do is
what does well played mean?
It's pronounced Played.
Played. Nice. Go. But you were saying.
No, I was listening to you guys.
And they have to also realize that with Patrick Kane, when he is down, when that team is down in games and in series, that's when Patrick Kane starts to do well. So he may not lead from the front, but he leads from behind, and I could see Patrick Kane having a huge game in the next game. That would be my prediction. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game as well, which is risky in the NHL playoffs to predict that because it doesn't happen.
Yeah, continue to feed Bishop laxatives, and we'll see if he,
apparently
if it needs to go.
Whatever it's doing, it's working.
That it is. This has been What the Puck, Stanley Cup Finals Game 3. Game 4 is
going to be great.
That's an open-ended. It was open. It was open-ended.
It's the one before Game 5.
There you go. You can put anything in there. We don't know what's going to happen. It's the beauty of the finals, regardless if it's the NBA or NHL. We'll be back, of course, with more NHL coverage as we go along.
And tell your friends about the hockey coverage here at TYT Sports.
Yeah, tell all your friends.
Michael, how much does it cost to subscribe?
It's like nothing.
That's right. It's correct.
Yeah.